Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if Asta was a samurai? Was a descendant of a samurai. Don't worry about who the descendant is. But yeah, and you probably already see the picture, so you understand. So it's either I was going to do it as what if Asta was the descendant, or what if Asta was a reincarnation. But instead, I'm gonna just do it as descendant. Now, don't worry where he's actually going to get the actual true blade that Atomic Samurai has in the manga. And if you know what blade that is, if I'm talking about, then you know damn well where I'm actually going to think of actually kind of getting it from Black Clover. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. So, Asta is a descendant of, well, the kind of samurai. So, yeah, I'm just saying he's a descendant of samurai. So, yeah. But not the point. So we begin into Asta, or well, an Asta that didn't actually go into the Black Bulls or anything like that, but yeah. So that's all I want to mention. Also, before I go any further, I know I have to finish other what ifs. I am trying to bring what's it called, what if Naruto was a reincarnation of Benjimaru, Shigaraki, and even Dabi. I don't give a shit if they have no connections with Benjimaru, but fuck you, I don't give a shit. But not the point, let me go into this what if, but yeah. So, let me begin where I going to go on. But yeah, we go into, well, the whole kind of like, what's it called, them joining, or mostly Yuno joining the Golden Dawn. Also didn't actually become a Black Bull. He didn't even go into the whole thing because he didn't get a grimoire. He didn't really get the file for Mar, didn't show up to have any magic, and didn't really care that much. He's been very lax. His whole life, he might have been bullied, thrown out, blah, 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 shown to be just spying or blah, blah. People already didn't like him because, well, he didn't have magic. Of course, Asta was too damn lax. He didn't give a shit. He always had a little stick in his mouth, like a little stick and all that. It was either a stick or even what's it called? Just kind of like, wheat you just put in your mouth. But yeah, that's what Asta had. Of course, Asta, he was kind of small to begin with. He was still 5'1" when Yuno kind of left to become a Golden Dawn and all that. But yeah, of course, Yuno was disappointed in Asta for not getting the grimoire. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of stupid to see Yuno kind of talk about that shit. Well, whatever. Of course, Asta, after seeing that Yuno was disappointed, he still didn't give a shit. Asta's too damn lax and didn't really give a crap that much. He didn't really give a crap about half the people. Of course, that's because he never really shown true skills. His, sense of justice is there. Not really. But yeah. Of course, we go into a time skip of Yuno after, 5 months. Yuno is actually going to, mostly his hometown after 5 months because, it was after kind of the festival and all that, just to check on everyone. Of course, he's going along with, Mimosa and even Klaus. Of course, Mimosa also did brought Noel. Well, not Noel exactly. Noel actually went with a couple friends from the Black Bulls towards the village, but yeah. Of course, Mimosa saw Noel and says, Noel. Noel says, yeah, hey. And so Mimosa says, hello there, Junko-san and also Asta-san. Of course, didn't really care that much. He was just going back to his village. He knows that Junko and SF are part of his village, but he doesn't really care that much. He wants to see everyone. Of course, did kind of go there like about 5 months ago. Well, 1 month ago after becoming a Golden Dawn. He went back because it was a mission. Of course, the one person that he didn't see too often was Asta. And Asta was just somewhere else, just didn't give a shit about Yuno's presence being there, but yeah. Of course, they're kind of going and walking, mostly through a forest and all that, just to get to the kind of, the village. Of course, they could have been flying on a broom, but whatever. But Noelle still sucks at kind of controlling her magic, but yeah. That's where Mimosa is trying to talk to Noelle and all that. And of course, Mimosa hasn't really fallen in love with anyone, not really. She sees Yuno's a good person, but still, he sucks at emotions. But yeah, Noelle is saying, I'm royalty. I don't need to go to a village like this. Junko says, then why the hell did you came along? This is where, well, no one's like, I don't really know what to do. This is where, well, they're all sigh. But of course, this is where, well, something is rumbling and rushing towards them in high speed. This is where Yuno, like, turns around, and this is where he winds his eyes. Everyone winds their eyes when they see a giant rhino rushing towards him, having this high magic dense power around it. Now, of course, it worked. Well, Yuno then gets ready and asks Belle to come out. Belle does. This is where, well, Belle yawns and says, what is that? How the hell does it have so much magic in it? It's almost close to being like a spirit. This is where Yuno says, no time, Belle. We gotta go. This is where Belle says, got it. This is where, well, she started absorbing magic so she can actually go into, well, Yuno to kind of transform into the wind spirit form. But yeah, this is where everyone else kind of gets ready, just try to block an attack from, well, this giant rhino. But before even kind of like attacking it, this is where someone appears right now in this iron armor. Of course, being smaller than almost all of them, but of course having a sword. This is where, well, he says, this is where this person had a black katana, and of course he was wearing all iron armor, even an iron helmet. This is where he says, EI of a certain kill. This is where, well, he swings his blade once, but also puts his blade back into his sheath. This is where the rhino was cut into, well, in a, what's it called, horizontal slash. Not, wait, so, wait. Yeah, horizontal slash. This is where the rhino was cut in a horizontal slash. And of course, where the rhino then kind of just splits into two, kind of falling, well, into two parts. Or not horizontal, mostly in a vertical slash. This is where, well, the rhino was killed in an instant, and of course, where, well, the person is a, well, that was easier than I thought. Man, I should really stop letting those magical creatures kind of run around, or they're gonna kill me. This is where, well, he says, or they're gonna kill me, or else the sensei's gonna kill me. This is where, well, he turns around and sees Yuno. This is where this person takes off his helmet, and of course, this kid has orange hair and purple eyes. This is where Nosh says, Yuno? Yuno says, Nosh? What the hell are you wearing? Also, why do you have a sword? Nosh says, oh, Sensei gave it this to me. But yeah, this is where, oh, Yuno says, you have a Sensei? Wait, what even happened? What the fuck are you doing here? This is where everyone is seeing this kid. And of course, Yuno doesn't really cuss that much, but he's so damn confused seeing Nosh here. Now, Nosh is actually based on one of the characters from One Punch Man. He was actually trained by, well, the Atomic Samurai. Well, in One Punch Man, he has 3 disciples in the Atomic Samurai. One of them is IK. Now, IK is this guy with kind of blondish hair, kind of has this armor of like steel and all that. And has a katana. He was trained by the Atomic Samurai. So Nosh is going to kind of be like that kind of guy in One Punch Man. So don't worry about it. This is where, Nosh says, it's been really nice to see you. This is where, well, Yuno says, yeah, this is where, well, Nosh is kind of saying, well, I gotta go. This is where a rock was thrown at him until he cuts it in an instant. And this is where a girl with reddish hair and kind of like, I think it was orange eyes appear. It's mostly what's it called, the kind of elder girl that's in the, what's it called, church. I don't remember her name, so I'm gonna call her, Scarlet. Yes, I'm gonna call her Scarlet. This is where Scarlet says, Nosh, you idiot. You almost let one of the rhinos smash into a bunch of magic knights. This is where, well, Nosh says, sorry about that. This is where a guy with black hair, who is right next to her, is named, well, Raijin? You know what, not Raijin, what's it called? This person is kind of named Bushijo, and of course he says, Nosh, you're an idiot. Nosh says, hey, screw you, leave me alone. This is where, well, they're kind of arguing, of course. This is where Scarlet kind of has a katana, but this is where Bushijo has like this kind of weird looking sword, but yeah. This is where, well, they didn't really notice this until Yuno did. A magic creature appeared behind them, like they're jetting in high speeds. They look like to be dirt, and of course have red eyes. And this is where, well, he then pulls out multiple, like, well, this creature pulls out multiple, like, claws around him, and about to start to stab at Nosh, Scarlet, and even what's called Bushijo. This is where, well, they turn around fast enough, but they couldn't really dodge it fast enough until, well, they hear one word: Atomic Slash. So yeah, Atomic Slash, and this is where, well, the creature now has over 100 slashes on its body. This is where, well, it's just like split into breaking apart and all that until the creature tries to reform. But this is where a black ball appears, like in the middle, until, well, this person grabs the black ball and just crushes it. The creature right now screams and roars, but of course it's now destroyed. This is where, well, this person says, "You idiots, what the hell did I tell you about, well, paying attention? Don't let your guard down." This is where, well, now I say, Asta, then. This is where, well, Scarlet, you want me to call her, no, I'm not calling her Scarlet, I'm gonna call her Akka. So Akka and even Bushido say, Asta-sen. This is where, well, they kind of bow down, but yeah. This is where Asta has his, well, sword right next to him, but mostly two swords, but yeah. This is where, well, he's wearing complete different clothes from the last time that Yuno saw him. And this is where Asta has, well, his hair in a ponytail, but yeah. And of course, it's all white. This is where he has a stick, and of course, seems to be taller. Yes, Asta is now 5'8". Asta says, whatever, let's go to the village before you two decide to get hurt again, or 3. This is where Akka says, I wasn't trying to get hurt. It was all Nasha's fault for letting a rhino escape. This is where, well, Asta says, it's none of your fault. It's just all of you are too dense and still too young. This is where, well, too young of like a grasshopper. This is where, well, they all nodded and they all had to follow Asta. And Asta didn't really talk to Yuno or anything. He didn't give a shit. But yeah, this is where everyone is so damn confused. What's it called? Klaus is right now shocked. He saw that creature, but the creature disappeared in an instant thanks to the person with the katana. This is where, well, mostly a ponytail hair. But of course, they get back to the village, and of course, where, well, Sister Lily kind of tries to scowl at them, mostly scowl at, well, Nosh and the others, but of course, then ask Asta where he has been. Asta says, I've been fishing. What do you think I've been doing? This is where, well, he then plows down 2 big fish that are like right next to the church. Sister Lily says, fine, I know that you've been fishing. This is where, well, she then looks at Yuno and the others and says, hello Yuno, it's been a while. This is where Yuno is so damn confused. His eyes is still stuck into Asta's back of his head. This is where Asta says, should I cut the fish slices? This is where Sister Lily says, yeah, can you do that please? This is where Asta says, got it. This is where Asta pulls out his katana and he says, air slashes. This is where, well, mostly not both of his katana, just one katana. He cuts the, well, fish in kind of the perfect pieces for people to eat. And this is where, well, Nosh says, damn it, I really want to learn how to do that. This is where, well, Akka says, yeah, me too. This is where Butcher says, yeah, me 3. This is where, well, all of them kind of saddened because they are not as skilled as, well, Asta right now. Asta has only been training for not even 5 months. He has actually been training his whole life. You see here, Asta is not an idiot. He knows that he doesn't have magic. But the one thing he does have is ki. He's actually always known about ki, exactly. Into this world, there's magic and there's ki. Mostly the Sunland actually uses ki. And he knows about this because, well, he actually found a place talking about ki when he was younger. Of course, he noticed that magic is not going to be the hugest problem for him if he just uses ki for his life. But yeah. So of course, after cutting the fishes into a million pieces with just 1 slash, it looks like he did 1 slash, but really he moved so fast that he cut them all instantly with multiple other slashes. But yeah, that's just how good Asta is. But yeah, of course, this is where we go into, well, Asta and, well, mostly the night. This is where Sister Lily is cooking it, or mostly Nosh is kind of adding fire and all that. Of course, this is where, well, he is helping cook the fish and all that. This is where Akka and even Bushido are trying to like serve the fish and all that. Of course, bringing it to the kind of magic nights and all that. This is where Asta is right now on the roof of the church. Really not caring. He's looking at the night. Mostly the sun kind of goes down. This is where Yuno kind of flies up there and kind of talks to Asta. This is where Yuno says, so, it seems like you became stronger. Stronger and much more better. So I suggest you fuck off Yuno for a second. That's where Yuno says, well, it seems that you're different from your lax tone. What do you mean, lax tone? You just never did pay attention into what I actually did to people. Maybe if you wasn't so damn, I don't know, stupid half the time, you know, you wouldn't notice what happened to those people who tried to hurt me when I was younger. What Yuno remembers is Asta getting punched and knocked out, and Yuno just turning around just to go home because he didn't want to get in trouble. But what Asta remembers is Asta, after getting punched and knocked down, he gets right up and fucking punches this man in the stomach, knocking his ass out. Using what was it called? A key technique called key punch, or mostly something called atomic punch, just to knock them out. Of course, where he was actually kicking ass, but Yuno didn't notice. And when Asta was walking right next to him, Asta looks really badly hurt, and mostly Yuno thought that he lost against the battle, but really they didn't look behind. Well, mostly Yuno didn't look behind, and neither did Asta. And behind them were just a couple of people right now in a stack, knocked out so clean. But yeah, Asta was never lax. He might have looked lax for a little bit, but he was still a fucking menace to be reckoned with. But yeah, Asta was not lax. He looks to be lax sometimes, but that was just an illusion before he beat the shit out of you so easily. But yeah, Asta says, maybe if it weren't so stupid and maybe turn around to half the bodies that I have thrown down in the ground, you would have been noticing that I was actually stronger than you. 10, maybe 4, maybe 5 times stronger than you. Or maybe 50 times stronger than you, and you would have never actually noticed. Yuno kind of says, huh, is that so? This is where Belle says, yeah, how is that even possible? This is where, before she even says anything, a slash appears right now, cutting her wing a little bit. Asta says, oh, what the hell is that anyway? Some kind of bug? I thought that was some kind of bug. It screeches like a bug. This is why, well, Belle widened her eyes. She would have easily got cut in an instant if it wasn't for Asta just being so damn lax sometimes. This is where, well, she was shocked. This is where Yuno widened his eyes, seeing that Belle could have easily got cut if Asta just didn't care that much half the time. This is where Yuno says, Asta, fight me. Fight you? No. I'd rather not fight some kind of weakling. I don't fight weaklings. This is where, well, Asta kind of just jumped down to the ground and started walking away. And Yuno says, Wind Spirit's sword. This is where, well, he sent a Wind Spirit sword at, well, Asta. And Asta just grabbed that shit. This is where Asta says, what were you trying to do, Yuno? He's right now having key in his hands, so that's why he's easily catching the shit. This is where, well, he snaps the blade and of course the wind disappears. This is where Yuno says, you're going to fight me. Belle says, yes. This is where she kind of activates enough magic and of course goes into Yuno. This is where, oh, Asta sighs and says, fine, let's see who's stronger then. This is where everyone is kind of watching this. Sister Lenny says, wait, you two don't. This is where, well, Nosh and the others are right now already betting that Atomic Samurai will be able to defeat Yuno, even though they kind of believe, they don't really believe in Yuno to actually be able to beat Asta. Asta is really a force to be reckoned with most of the time. That's where Asta, he just says, bring it on, Yuno. Yuno rushes at him with blinding speed. This is where Yuno tries to punch at him, but this is where Asta dodges to the left, mostly putting his head to the left. This is where, well, Yuno then tries to kick at him, and this is where Asta ducks. This is where Yuno tries to drop, or mostly axe kick him, and this is where the ground cracks beside Asta when he jumped away. This is where, oh, Asta says, are you done trying to attack me? Surely you're pathetic and weaker than I thought. And more predictable than I really thought. How can you be so predictable? This is where, oh, Yuno tries to attack him, but this is where Asta fucking slapped the shit out of him. This is where Asta didn't give a shit. Now, Yuno couldn't dodge that because the slap was going extremely fast. And of course, you could have heard the slap for miles away. It was like, oh wait, no. No, wait, fuck. You want, never mind. But you get the point. He just slapped the shit out of Yuno, and Yuno just was shocked. He can't dodge, Asta's techniques and attacks, because the problem is Asta doesn't have magic. And he just whined his eyes. Asta says, oh my god, did you finally realize that I have no magic? That's why I'm the greatest samurai out there. Because I won't be able to be sensed. I'm like in a goddamn nuclear bomb, you could say. This is where, oh, Yuno then tried to punch at him. This is where, well, Asta blocks his attack with one finger. Mostly adding ki in it because, yes, he can use the flow of ki around his body. That's where Asta says, oh my gosh, Yuno, are you done for the God of, well, the love of God? You're more annoying than I thought. This is where, he then jumps back and says, Wind Spirit Beam. He sends a beam at Asta. This is where Asta, he pulls down a katana, not pulls down a katana, pulls out a katana and slashes through the blast. And the blast just gets cut, and right now it just splits and hits 2 other buildings. But yeah, this is where Yuno winded his eyes. It should have had Asta, but Asta just cut it through vertical. This is where Asta says, are we done, Yuno? Yuno tries to attack him at once again. This is where Asta says, fine. If you don't want to give up, fine, I'll go further. This is where Yuno finally goes to full power, and of course he actually unlocks 50% of his Wind Spirit form. This is where it's only a one-time chance, and he rushes towards Asta with his own sword that he created. This is where he swings it at Asta. Asta, he right now has his blade out, puts it over his head, and this is where he says atomic beeline slash. This is where instead of just having multiple slashes appear on Yuno, it's actually one single slash swinging down towards Yuno. Yuno right now swings the sword, the spiritual sword at Asta. But of course, this is where the sword was no match for Asta's customized sword, thanks to a famous blacksmith. Now, of course, this is where, it's like a black hilt sword and all that, but yeah. He has 2 of them, but yeah. It's mostly this one that he has up here. The customized was this one, but yeah. This one is his kind of main one. That kind of looks like to have an atomic atom on hilt or whatever, but yeah. Well, handle or whatever, but yeah. This is where, or not handle, is mostly the guard, but yeah. This is where, he swings it down, and of course, this is where, Yuno didn't have any time to react or even dodge, or even, he had time to block it because he thinks that there's no way in hell it's going to cut. This is where it cuts through in an instant and slashes at Yuno from his, what's it called, right shoulder all the way down to his left, leg. But yeah, this is where he coughs up blood and widens his eyes. This is where it's like, he's coughing up blood because that shit hurted so much. Even what's it called, Belle was actually unable to keep up any form, and of course she was cut also in half. Of course, mostly kind of like half vertical kind of slash, but mostly also the right. This is where she only dispels into magic and just goes back into the grimoire of Yuno to recover. But yeah, this is where also he did hold back, but he didn't hold that back that much. He only used about 10% of when he uses his attack. He can't go any further because he would have murdered Yuno and Belle in an instant because of a key ability he was using. But yeah, it's called like Heavily Blade or something like that in the manga if you want to know that. But yeah, but of course this is what Yuno is right now, coughing up blood, and of course his form does break, and this is where he falls forward. This is where Yuno, Asta doesn't catch him just because he's an idiot. And this is where Asta just puts his blade back into his sword. Well, mostly wiping off the blood by using his coat and all that. Just taking off that blood and putting it into his blade. Because, blood does rust the blade. So, yeah, he was trying to clean his blade. This is where he ignores Yuno's helps and cries. Because, he's already blacked out. He is blacked out, as you mentioned. That slash hurted like hell and blacked out, Yuno. Yuno is unable to talk right now. This is where everyone winds their eyes and rushes towards Yuno's side. Mostly what's it called, the other magic knights. Clouds widened his eyes. He wasn't expecting Yuno to go that far, but wasn't expecting Yuno to just be defeated by someone who uses nothing but a katana and can easily dodge attacks because, he doesn't know. But this is where Noelle narrowed her eyes because, there's one thing that's for sure. It's like if Yami was dodging that light attacks pretty easily. He wasn't using magic, and even Junko notices it. She's actually confused. This is where she widened her eyes and realized that something called ki. This is where, Yami did talk about this once in the Black Bulls, but he really didn't talk about further than much or whatever. It's something to actually help people understand life force. Ki is basically life force. And of course, Asta was basically understanding, fucking Yuno's attacks. Ki is, think of it like Hawking, Average Hawking. He can basically kind of see a little bit into the future, but mostly see the attacks coming. This is where, Asta can easily dodge. That's why he was so easily in dodging. He was basically like a water flowing stream. He wasn't dodging like in a rough kind of way, just to dodge things. He was just dodging like the flow and all that. like the flow. He kind of just dodged like the flow and all that. This is what, well, he's pretty much like a master, mostly a master samurai. A master samurai who's pretty lax and doesn't care that much, but yeah. Whenever he needs to get serious, he would get serious and fuck up your life. But yeah, you get the point, right? But this is where Asta says, idiot. This is where, well, Nosh and the others, mostly 3 disciples says, sir, what do we do with Yuno? This is where Asta says, Yuno? Well, he's going to have to die for being an idiot. And, well, he's going to die in about 10 seconds. Don't think the magic knights will be able to heal him. All of them widened their eyes and realized how cold Asta is. But really, Asta was just lying. He just wanted to see how cold he will actually be to the magic knights. And this is where Asta kind of cleaned out his throat, saying, just kidding, he's not going to die. I didn't really fucking hit him in any vital points. I'm only wanted to hit the wind spirit to kind of knock him out of that form. He's only blackout. He won't be losing up that much blood if you know how to properly fucking heal him and put bandages around his body. But whatever. I should also mention that, well, I'll tell you this once. Well, once Yuno wakes up, or right now, any magic knights that tries to annoy me in my village here, I will cut them and slaughter them down, just like sheeps. This is where Asta right now had a serious tone and a serious look to his eye. Yes, Asta doesn't give a shit about the magic knights, and truly will never give a shit that much. He doesn't care that much. The only thing he cares about in life is becoming the greatest samurai that ever exists. Meaning that he needs to be a master in ki, be a master in, well, his, samurai techniques. Because the one thing he wants to be is just like his father. Something that his father couldn't achieve much, but he knows about his father. Because his father was actually a master samurai. Well, kind of an expert, but not much. Now, of course, Asta knows about his father because, well, he actually managed to find, well, his old house. Or mostly in a house that he would have lived with his mother and his kind of older brother. Or someone that he actually remembers. He doesn't know exactly who the hell this guy was. But of course, well, he doesn't care that much. And of course, well, we find this old house that mostly, well, Libby and also, Lichita, whatever, would have left, or would have lived and all that. And of course, while looking through this house and all that, he found out one thing. His father was a samurai after reading a book and all that Lichita kind of left him, but yeah. Or left after like a diary and all that. Of course, he kind of like started training to be like a samurai. Because Lichita basically said in the book about how, well, this man was a powerful samurai and could easily cut through anything. He was a strong man, samurai, and other things. He wasn't no magic knight. He was a very kind and gentle man, but yeah. Asta's the same. Very lax, gentle, and other things. But can be very serious and very explosive sometimes. But yeah. Of course, Asta, he walked away. Of course, going to the forest. And this is where Sister Lily starts trying to heal, well, Yuno. And even Mimosa's there trying to heal him. But yeah. This is where Yuno wakes up the next day. And of course, he has a giant slash through his torso. Yeah, Asta left a fucking scar there because he wanted to show that Yuno ain't nothing to him. He doesn't give a shit. But yeah. Of course, well, the other disciples, mostly the other kind of apprentices are from for Asta and all that. Mostly are there in the church, kind of walking around, kind of cleaning, helping Sister Lily, and helping the other kids. Of course, Father Orsis doesn't have any power over Asta, and the reason why is because Asta doesn't give a shit that much. He knows what Father Orsis is, and how much of a piece of shit he is, really. But yeah. Asta just doesn't give a shit that much. That's where, tries to get up, but of course still feels pain in his chest. It's a bitch. This is where, well, he coughed up a little bit of blood, but yeah. This is where Melissa said, hey, you can't walk. We're gonna have to take you back to the Golden Dawn and try to heal you there. This is where, say, what about you, Asta? This is where, well, he remembers everything. Yes, Asta fucking fucked him up. And remembers this shit. Yes, he sees that. He thought that he was above Asta, well, when he was little and even going into the Golden Dawn and all that. He thought he was above Asta. He knows that the rivalry wasn't there much. well, mostly he always thought of Asta being a rival still because Asta was sometimes determination, but yeah. But of course, he sees that rivalry fucking score. He still thought Asta was still below after meeting him, even seeing him kind of slash someone with hunger slashes. But seeing the true power that Asta has, he's truly more above than Yuno is. Even without the anti-magic, I'll explain how he would get the anti-magic weapons. And even what's it called, meet Levy, but don't worry about that. He sees that Asta doesn't use magic, and can see that Asta is the biggest threat to him. Because Asta doesn't use magic and can see that Asta is such a kind, gentle person, which can give out results pretty easily. But the one thing that holds him back from actually becoming the Wizard King, mostly Asta, is the fact that he doesn't give a shit about that goal. He never did give a shit about that goal. It was mostly a figure of imagination that thought of. He gave a shit, but really he doesn't give a shit. Truly, the thing that he wants to do in life is become one of the greatest samurais in the whole existence of the world. That means that he needs to travel to the Sun country to actually become the greatest. But yeah, I'll explain when he is actually doing that, but yeah. Well, Asta only knows fragments and pieces of how to use ki, but can easily use it because it feels natural to him, but yeah. Because he is a descendant of samurais, but yeah. This is where, we go into Asta kind of just walking through the forest, and of course just being really calm. And of course he gets to a lake and just like sits there. This is where Asta feels really calm. This is where, he then opened his eyes because he already sensed Noelle being in the shadows. Asta says, "You, girl with whitish hair and purplish eyes, why the hell are you following me?" This is where, Noelle says, this is where, she then tries to sneak off, but this is where Asta appears right in front of her. This is where Asta says, "Hello, didn't I fucking ask you a question?" This is where, Noelle says, "Well, you did, but I was looking around, I didn't know you were there." This is where Asta says, "Sure, I believe you." This is where Noelle says, this is where Asta grabs her from the hand and says, "Look here, girl, I don't care if you're a magic knight. Don't you dare say anything about this. I don't care about fucking magic knights being nosy and all that. I hate your kind and I hate your family. Well, I don't really care what family you're exactly from. I just hate anyone that dares to try to annoy me." This is where, Noelle sees the scary side of Asta. This is where, Asta looks at her with just nothing in his eyes. He doesn't care that much. He doesn't care much about the rules or anything. He truly doesn't give a shit that much, but yeah. This is where, his eyes are super emotionless and can be very emotionless. This is where, Asta lets go of her arm and just starts walking away back to the river and just sitting there. This is where, Asta then just starts meditating, but yeah. This is where, Noelle was actually kind of scared of Asta. Very scared from the fact that Asta was very intimidating, and of course, he's very powerful. Even without magic, she was actually very scared of him. This is where, she then kind of, they were there for a while because, the problem is, in a week we'll actually start the kind of magic knight exam for becoming the Royal Magic Knights, but yeah. This is where Yuno starts training in his village, even though he's still extremely hurt. But there's one thing for sure, Klaus then mostly kind of told Julius about if they're able to extend the time. And Julius asked why. This is where Yuno got hurt and all that, he kind of said. Or mostly tell the Golden Dawn leader. This is where, William says, "I will ask Julius if that's be okay. How did Yuno get hurt? May I ask how?" This is where, Klaus says it was because of his brother. This is where, William says, "Brother? I never heard of him." Well, you probably didn't, but Yuno does have a brother named Asta. Of course, is it Asta? I don't remember. But of course, he's in the village, and of course, he managed to defeat Yuno, even if Yuno went into 50% Wind Spirit Guardian form. And so, Williams was shocked, and even his spirit, mostly his elf, was shocked also. That's where he was interested and decided to talk to, Julius about this. Judas was kind of interested also, so he decides to ask, well, the Black Bull leader named, well, what's it called, Yami, to go towards this village. Of course, Yami was taking a shit and say, oh, do I have to go? Fine, let me first break my limits and take a shit first. Ah! So yeah, you understand. So of course it worked. Well, Yami is done. Of course he goes with, well, what's called Finro, and of course Finro gets there, and Finro sees, well, the other Black Bulls, mostly, well, his other members, Junko, Estef, and even Noel. This is where, oh, Finro says, hey girls, how you doing? This is where all of them say, Finro, what are you doing here? This is where, well, Finro says, I'm not alone. I'm here with Yami. Yami says, I thought I was done, but I think that cooking the friggin' charm is kicking my ass. I'm gonna have to go back. This is where, what's it called? Finro says, wait, don't go. Don't we need a mission here? It was someone that we had to look for. Fine. Where is he anyway? This is where, well, the three disciples are right now just running around, and of course, where, well, Yami noticed one thing. They're all kind of holding katanas, or one is holding a weird-ass sword, but truly all of them are holding a katana. But of course, they seem to be very careful with their katana and running around. This is where, well, Yami says, interesting, very interesting. This is where someone walks from the trees, and of course, seems to just been washing up himself and all that, mostly his face, and that's why his hair seems to be kind of wet. And of course, where, well, Asta walks towards the church, but this is where he opened his eyes. Right now, cleaning off the water off his eyes and all that. This is where, well, he noticed Yami, and this is where Yami noticed Asta. This is where, well, Asta looks at Yami, and Yami looks at Asta. This is where Asta says, so, it's been a while. Well, how should I say it? Big dude, I don't remember your name exactly. Yami says, neither did I. Fuck, what was her name again? Asta. Asta said. This is where Yami says, Yami Sicanero then. This is where, well, they look at each other intensely until Asta pulls out a bottle of whiskey out of the fuck nowhere, and this is where Yami pulls out a bottle of just his own, like, drinking bottle. This is where Asta says, let's drink! This is where they both start drinking and, of course, just talking to each other because they kind of met each other. We go into a flashback of when they met each other, and, of course, Asta was just traveling around the world a little bit, well, mostly during the 5 months, and, of course, met Yami out there doing a mission. Asta thought he would be a strong samurai user to fight because, well, Asta still had his katanas. This is where, well, Yami thought he was also strong, so, of course, he started fighting. This is where, well, Yami realized that Asta can use his ki at the same time, but not perfectly like him. But still, very professional. This is where, well, they're fighting for a couple of minutes, like 40 minutes, until they stop and start drinking whiskey. But yeah, they were kind of just drinking a lot of booze. Even though Asta was 16, he was still able to tolerate booze and all that. This is where, well, both Yami and Asta are kind of saying, sweet home. No, just kidding. They're like just singing all that. They're like, the sweet home of booze. We like to be drinking. But yeah. I don't know why I started with the sweet home. I was about to say sweet home Alabama. I don't know why. But like just drinking about sweet booze and all that. Sweet home of booze. I don't fucking know why that came up to the head. Or never gonna give you. Oh yes, I was gonna Rickroll you in the beginning. I was actually thinking of actually like putting the fucking song of Rickroll through that song. But yeah. Nah, but I'm just kidding. I don't know. But let me go into both Yami and Asta. They're just drinking, of course. They're right now being cheerful as hell to each other. And of course, everyone is confused. Even the three disciples. This is where, Yuno is right now trying to train. And seeing, well, Black Bull, mostly the leader of the Black Bull, be very, very friendly with Asta. They're right now drinking and having such a good time. They just clash their bottles together and they're drinking it all down in one go. Saying, yeah, hell yeah. This is where, well, Finro says, Yami, shouldn't we be looking for the kid? What kid? Oh, you're talking about Asta. Asta here is really a strong samurai. I can understand how the Golden Dawn got his ass kicked. That little brat, the Golden Dawn brat. Right, number one, my ass. Got his ass kicked by the best samurai out here. Atomic Samurai, also known as Kamikaze, isn't it? So, how will you be able to Well, mostly Asta's last name is called Kamikaze because of his actual clan name. Yes, Asta found out about his name because on the books it was actually saying his father's name and his last name Kamikaze. So of course Asta knows about the Kamikaze being the clan. But yeah, that's the samurai clan name that he's from. So of course he said, he's from the Kamikaze clan, but mostly from the land of the sun. But I never met his father. But his father might be a professional out here. He might kick my ass one day if I mess with Asta here. But that doesn't matter. Because I might have to fight you, kid. And bring you to the Black Bulls. Asta says, bring it on then, there, old man. That's where Yami says, I'm gonna kill you, brat. He gets serious right now. Black mode appearing around him. Saying, let's see who's stronger. You or me, Asta. It's been 5 months. Let's fight. This is where both of them start clashing with their sword. Ting, 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 ting. Right now, clashing and appearing like in blinks. Just people, when they blink, they just see them appear in a direction. But yeah, ting, 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 ting. This is where all of them are winding their eyes. This is where, well, they are just shocked. This is where Asta dodges a kick from Yami. But this is where Asta sends an uppercut for Yami to get hit. But Yami dodges it thanks to the sense of ki. They're both just using that shit and attacking each other. This is where, well, Asta then swings the wooden pick that he has in his mouth, another straight towards Yami, and Yami had to use his sword to cut it vertical so it wouldn't hit him. He knows that that also can be used as a weapon. Asta uses anything as a weapon most of the time. He mostly has that in his mouth because he just doesn't care. He knows that the Kamikaze clan kind of uses it. And yes, if you don't know this, but Yami is, well, from the Sun country, mostly the land of the sun. He is also from a clan who's powerful in darkness and all that, being next to a river that's called a Black River, Black Lake, or Black Ocean. I don't remember what the fuck it's called, but you get the point. Of course, both Asta and Yami are just fighting. This is where they're both grinning, and their mostly their mouths are grinning, and having these insane eyes. This is where, well, they're both drunken, I should still mention, but they're still clashing with each other. This is where, well, both of them are just grinning with these widened teeth. Right now, Asta says, you really think you can defeat me? This is where, well, Yami says, of course, brat. You might be young. Well, I might be old, but I'm still gonna kick the shit out of a young brat like you. This is where Asta grins even more and says, you can try, but you won't be able to. This is where Asta swings his katana up. Well, mostly he uses the second katana to swing up, and this is where Yami has to dodge. This is where Yami says, that's not fair. You're using 2 katanas. Whatever. He then looks at his book, his grimoire kind of floating around him. This is where he pulls out a darkness sword, mostly a sword made out of darkness, and starts fighting against Asta with his 2 katanas. This is where Asta says, atomic slashes. This is where Yami says, darkness slashes. This is where all of her slashes are right now clashing with each other, and of course, they are right now equally empowered. This is where Asta is kind of smiling. Both of them are using a different percentage of power. This is where Asta is using about 50% more than he was against what's called Yuno. And, well, Yami's actually using about 60%, but yeah. This is where Asta's a little bit stronger than the last time they fought. But yeah, they weren't even using 100%. But yeah, there was 2 lacks most of the time. They did not care that much. Right now, their drunken stupor kind of makes them having to try a little bit more. Yeah, this is where, well, Asta was about to swing his katana, well, mostly the kind of star one, straight towards Yami's head, and Yami managed to block it with his own sword. But of course, the sword has a crack in his own blade. Realizing that Asta is, yes, putting ki on it, but of course, the sword that, well, Asta has is crafted so much more better than the one that he actually bought a while ago. This is where, well, Asta then swings the other blade down straight towards Yami, and Yami had to dodge by jumping away. Trying to mostly, but of course this is where Yami still managed to get cut. This is where Yami caught the blood and realized that he wasn't able to dodge it. This is where, well, they both start fighting anyway again and starts kind of attacking each other, kicking each other and punching each other most of the time when both of their blades were right now on the ground. And of course, because they did stab after a while after clashing for the second time together with their blades. And of course, this is where, well, Asta says, no sword style. This is where, well, his hand right now glow with ki and all that. And this is where, oh, Yami says, oh, so you want to try that? Fine. Yoreichu, Heavenly Clash. This is where his hand glows with darkness, but actually having ki. This is where both of them swings down. mostly having their hands up in the air. Mostly it's their right hands that they're kind of putting key in. And they slash down in front of them. And that's where a powerful slash right now clashes. And right now cutting the heaven right now, mostly the clouds. They're up in the sky. But of course, they're smiling and grinning. Until this where, both of their slash manage to cancel each other. And that's where Asta says, ugh, I'm tired. Asta falls down. And of course, Yami falls down also and says, you want to drink more whiskey then? More whiskey, kid? This is where Asta says, bet. Oh, definitely don't you drink more whiskey then. Hell yeah. Finro, make a portal. We're going to the fucking capital to get more fucking whiskey. That's where Finro says, sir, wasn't this a mission, not a fight? Shut up and make a portal. This is where Finro says, got it. This is where Asta yawns and says, let's just go. This is where, well, they both just laugh and chuckle and just leave. But yeah, through the portal, and of course, where, well, Finro is just sighing because holy shit, he would have easily got cut. This is where, well, also did pull up his katanas back into his like chef and all that. Of course, Yami did also get his katana before leaving, but yeah, they just remember that because they don't want to leave in there. This is what, well, the three disciples who are right now under Asta, they're right now glowing with their eyes, having stars, and saying, whoa, I want to do that. This is where all of them want to say that at the same time, but yeah, that's where all of them switch off, but yeah. Yes, sir. Well, we go into the next day, and of course, Asta and Yami are so damn drunk that they're hungover. Oh. They wake up the next day and say, oh, what the fuck happened? Oh, my head is killing me, Asta said. That's right, Yami says, damn, kid, I think we went overboard. That's right, Yami says, hey, kid, wanna join the Black Bulls? Can I kill other Magic Knight squads? Who gives a shit? Yeah, of course. Besides, half of us are criminals. Who gives a shit that much if you can do whatever? Asta say, sweet. Then let's make that deal, bro. Yes, sir. Both of them are just kind of like mostly kind of give a handshake to each other. But yeah, because Asta does see, well, Yuno, or not Yuno, Yami as a strong, well, samurai kind of Magic Knight. Of course, that's the only person he would ever give a handshake to. But yeah. He will only give handshakes to those who are strong. Yuno is weak and doesn't give a shit. He won't never give a handshake towards Yuno until he see improvement, skills, and strength. And isn't just blessed by fucking magic. But yeah. This will work. Well, he had knowledge. Well, Yami to be strong. But yeah. This is where they get to the, what's it called? Like the top of a tower and seeing, well, Julius. Julius says, okay, Yami, I'm guessing that you found him or you didn't found him, but what's the report? Yami says, yeah, I found him. This is Asta Kamikaze. This is where, well, Julie says, Asta Kamikaze? Interesting. This is where, well, Julie says, tell me, what's your special magic? Where's your grimoire? This is where Asta says, the hell is he going on with? Grimoire? Magic? Bitch, do I look like I have magic to you? That's where, well, the advisor who was right next to Julie says, please, without language, don't say anything to the Wizard King. That's where, well, Yami kind of pushes Julius away by kind of just pushing him away. That's where Yami says, let me explain. Asta here is mostly from the Sun Country. Mostly, I don't know if he's fully from here or fully from the Sun Country. Don't ask me. He is, well, someone that doesn't have magic, meaning that he only uses ki and is able to defeat the Golden Dawn with ki, and also, well, it's just very strong and, well, a lot of things. He's physically enchanted and this. Also, he doesn't really need magic because he can't even use magic. Can you, kid? Hell no. Don't really remember ever using magic, so yeah. This is what, well, Julia says, wait, you don't have magic? Well, you're an interesting specimen. So, tell me, what can you really do? This is where, well, he's right now kind of like nerding out with Asta, but this is where Asta says, oh my gosh, he's creepy as hell. This is where Yami says, tell me about it. This is where Julia says, well, that's interesting. Tell me, Asta, would you like to join the magic squads? And which one would you like to join? This is where Asta Just wanted to give out a plain fucking answer. None of them. I'm only joining the Black Bulls just so I can cut the other, Magic Knight squads down. Just for the fuck about it. Who gives a shit, right? I only want to test them out. If they're weak, they're gonna get cut down. If they're not weak, then they're just gonna be hurt. But you get the point, right? Any weaklings I find, I'm cutting them down. Don't give a shit who they are. I'll slice them down. This is where Julius can see that Asta might be lax, but also a very dangerous person. He doesn't give a fucking who you are. He will cut you down if you're weaker than him. He doesn't care. He doesn't acknowledge the weak. He only acknowledges you if you're strong. But yeah, of course, Asta says, well, that's all that I'm saying. I am now going back to the village. Yami, you can call me whenever the fuck you want to. This is where Yami says, wait. Hey, Julius, didn't you say that there was actually like a Royal Magic Knight tournament or whatever the hell is happening? Hey, kid, maybe don't win the Magic tournament or whatever, but just be in there to see if they're strong or weak opponents. If they're weak, just cut them down. Who gives a shit, right? This is where Julius pals at the sight after hearing what Yami is saying. This is where Julius says, Yami? This is where, Asta says, what, really? There's a tournament happening? Bet! Sign me up! What's it called? Captain Yami? This is where Yami says, bet! Let's go! This is where they just kind of skip out of the kind of like building that Julius is in. Julius is like, shit! This is where he realizes this is such a bad idea because after finding out who's the one to defeat the Golden On and how, not Yami, Yuno is pretty damn hurt, Asta seems to be the person that would cut people down if you're weak. So if you get cut once and is crying like a little bitch, Asta does not give a shit. He will cut your ass down. But yeah, you gotta be a man about it. Don't fucking cry if you get cut. But yeah, that's how Asta says it. But yeah, this is where, they go off to go sign, Asta's the new competitor. But yeah, this is where, Yami realized, shit, I forgot I signed Noel, Junko, and even what's it called, SF in there. He can be second there. This is where, he puts the name of us, and then we go into the next day, and of course we go into the tournament. This is where everyone is there, except for Asta. But of course, when they get to the place where it's at, this is where Yami appears to a portal of Finro. Finro says, hey guys. This is where all of them says, Finro, are you supposed to go in also? It says up your name. Oh yeah, I forgot. But I kind of brought Captain Yami and also, Asta along. This is where, some of the Black Bulls says, who? Some of the Black Bulls that kind of knows who Asta is says, wait. He's in the... This is where Asta says, so this is the tournament. So who am I going to be cutting down first? This is where Asta right now has his hands together. Gun, This is the three disciples are there also. Just because they follow Asta wherever he kind of goes. But yeah. So of course, they are just there kind of seeing the spectacular battles that Asta would kind of send down from the heavens. But yeah. This is where, everyone is kind of winding their eyes and seeing that Asta's name is up there. This is where, mostly some people. Some people that kind of already met Asta. Some people who doesn't know who the fuck Asta is are confused. But this is where Asta says, what team am I? This is where, he finds a team and he sees, it's a girl with the orange hair and kind of greenish eyes. This is where Momo says, you're Asta. This is where Asta says, yeah, and you're, I don't remember your name. This is where, he sees the red hair guy named Zora. And Zora says, huh? So you must be a new member. Or, not a new member, you must be the other member for the Black Bulls. Interesting. Well, you want to give me a handshake? This is where Asta smacked his hand away and says, sorry, I only acknowledge the strong. So come back when you're actually stronger. This is where Zora has a tick mark. This is where Asta doesn't really care. He's too damn lax. So you understand this. But yeah. We go into the first match because, I don't really care about the other teams. Well, be naming them, but yeah. This is where the first team is mostly, mostly Team A versus Team B, but yeah. This is where Team B starts launching attacks towards Team A. And this is where, Momo's is trying to protect the crystal. Zora is sleeping. And that's where Asta says, I see. So they're attacking. This is where he senses where the traps are at. And this is where, Asta he starts running towards, well, the location of the three magic knights. This is where one of them says, there's one already rushing towards us. This is where, well, Yami saying, cut them down. Cut them down. This is where the black bulls are confused. This is where Julius is hearing this and saying, oh shit, not this. Asta, he right now rushes towards the tree line, the one who's right now in the trees. He jumps up, mostly the guy. He jumps away from the tree before the tree is cut down to a million fucking pieces. The guy widened his eyes until one of his arms is actually cut off, and this is where he's screaming in pain. Asta says, I wasn't expecting you to be that weak. I was expecting you to be strong, but since you're a weakling, you should be cut down. This is where Asta swung his sword, cutting this guy's head off. Right now, without a care in the world, Asta doesn't give a shit. He might have this similar personality of the Atomic Samurai, but it's not really the Atomic Samurai. But yeah, he's a little bit more murderous and just doesn't care that much about people. This is where, well, the two other members are winding their eyes and realize that Asta just murdered one of them. Asta sees the other two and starts rushing up by mostly kind of sending ki through his body and kind of launching himself up to the hill. This is where one of them sends an ice attack at Asta. This is where Asta cuts their shit in a million pieces. This is where Asta says, hey, 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 where are you going? I don't know. Wait. Never mind. Of course, this is where, well, Asta kind of rushes at this guy. This is where he swings his blade straight towards this guy. And of course, this guy cannot dodge fast enough. Cuts into a million pieces. This is where the last one is right now scared. And kind of like falls down and right now shocked. Saying, wait, we can talk about this, can't we? Asta says, if you're weak, we can. Well, if you're strong, we can. If you're weak, you die. This is where, the guy says, wait, we can. This is where, Julius says, damn it, this is where Yami says, hey, Julius. So, do you like how the battle's happening? This is where Julius realized that Yami is distracting him before he even goes straight towards where Asta said. Asta finally cut this motherfucker down, destroying the crystal along with it. He didn't give a shit. This is where Asta kind of had his reddish eyes going, but yeah, he just didn't give a shit that much. Julius narrowed his eyes, and then Yami said, well, it's my black bull, my friend, my homies over here right now defeating them. This is what, well, Julius narrowed his eyes, realizing that Yami did this on purpose, just to distract him so he wouldn't be able to be saving those three. This is where, well, the Clover King is right now in his eyes and scared of Asta. This is where everyone else is scared of Asta now. Asta doesn't show mercy. If you're weak, you're being cut the fuck down. Doesn't give a shit if you're a part of the Black Bulls or not. This is where Mimosa gets scared of Asta. Asta says, good job, team. It seems that we managed to defeat the team. This is where, well, Zora is right now on his eyes. Realize that Asta doesn't give a shit about half the people. Seeing that, well, if it's the teammates, well, mostly this is where Zora kind of asks a question. So wait, if it's your teammates, mostly the other Black Bull squad members, what would you do? Slaughter them if they were weak to me? I don't give a shit who you are. Truly, if you're weak, you're being slaughtered. If you're not weak, then too bad. I'm not slaughtering you. I'm just going to hurt you really bad. There's the logic. Soda says, that's not a logic there. That's just you killing someone. Hey. You like kind of making noble people life's hell, right? Soda says, yeah. Wait, no, that's it's a similar fucking same logic for mine. This is where Soda says, no, it's not at all though. Too bad we having the same logic. Potato, who gives a shit? Zora's fucking logic is just thrown out the window because, well, Asta's logic is completely different. But yeah, this is where, well, Yuno is right now winding his eyes, seeing that so many people just got slaughtered. Just because Asta just didn't care. If you're weak, you're dead. Now, of course, Yuno's confused why he wasn't killed. Asta, he is still using 10% against anyone. So if anyone's stronger than 10%, he won't go that far. And Yuno was strong enough to be able to tank attack from, well, mostly when I say tank an attack, I mean just fucking get hit by the attack and black out. But yeah, he wasn't dead after that. So yeah. So it's kind of like a tank attack. But yeah, he tanked it somewhat. I say somewhat because he would have died if it wasn't for Mimosa or Sister Lily healing him. But yeah. Of course, we go into the next round. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for. Part 1 of What If Asta was a descendant of the samurai clan. or a samurai clan, or just samurais. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna just say, what if Asta was descended from samurai? But yeah, other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato sea, potato, and good night. Bye.